Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. The topic for this video is going to be why the Bajaj Pulsar is such a big success. Who doesn't know about the very famous and the likable Bajaj Pulsar? The popularity of this motorcycle is widespread in India and even more contagious than Corona. But how did this motorcycle actually become so popular and such a household name? In this video, let's find that out exactly. If you like what you see, guys, in this video, do not forget to hit the like button, sub to the channel and share this video with your friend who owns a Pulsar or who even loves the Pulsar or both. So without any further delay, let's begin. So the Bajaj Pulsar, since its launch in 2001 right up until now, has been and is supremely popular due to a few reasons and practical decisions made by Bajaj. So let's see what they are. Number one is going to be understanding the consumer. Understanding your target consumer is very important and Bajaj nailed it. What did the Indian consumer want? He wanted a sporty motorcycle that was relatively fast, the engine was powerful and the price had to be affordable. If you see these things, you will see that you are looking at a blueprint of the Bajaj Pulsar. At its launch in 2001, Pulsar came in two variants, namely the 150 and the 180. They produced 12 and 15 brake horsepower respectively, which were very sporty and fast according to the time. The motorcycle at that point came with a front disc as standard, and this was a novelty feature at that time. The target audience of Bajaj was the youngsters, the college-going students, and also someone who would like a bike that looked different, it was powerful, and it could get them from point A to point B effectively. So the Pulsar had widespread appeal among the people, and that helped Bajaj to diversify their market. Also, because the bike was relatively cheap, it made it easier to convince the consumer to go for it. Accessible power and usable power in the city to make your commuting fun is what the Pulsar has always nailed. So to sum up this point, the Pulsar was a product that was aimed at the consumer of a certain kind and it ticked all the boxes which made it appealing. Next is going to be getting premium features at a lower price point. As discussed earlier, the Pulsar always did and still comes in at a very affordable price, but it also gets with it a few features that were from the higher price range and that attracted a lot of buyers. In the first ever Pulsar, we had the disc brake at the front as standard, and the 180cc Pulsar even got an engine kill switch as a standard feature, which was something new at the time. In 2007, Bajaj launched the 220 DTS FI and 180 DTSI. And the 220 got fuel injection and a digital dash and a rear disc brake, which were groundbreaking features considering the market at that time. The 2009 Pulsar came with features such as self-cancelling turn signals, side stand warning light, and these features were not gimmicks but were actually usable features that the buyer wanted and they were necessary. But Bajaj was also smart when it came to this aspect. They carefully plucked and chose features that would actually fit the price point, and because the choice was done very carefully, the price of the Bajaj Pulsar never skyrocketed. Next is going to be the diverse portfolio at every price point. Bajaj didn't only want to capture a particular segment, but they wanted to steamroll the entire market, and that is evident from their diverse portfolio. Initially, they came out with the 150 and the 180, but quickly enough, they got the 200 DTS FI as well. Not just that, they even got the Pulsar 125 later on, and that shows the intent of capturing the market. In 2012, Bajaj launched the NS, which stands for Naked Sport. It got a 200cc engine derived from the Duke, and the 200 was a hit product right off the bat. In 2015, they further diversified the portfolio by launching the RS series. The RS stood for Race Sport, and oh my god, the bike looked so beautiful and it was obviously appealing, except for the rear tail lamp, which you know what it absolutely looks like. This motorcycle was Bajaj's fully fed offering, and it was and still is a definite success. They also had a rare failure, which was the AS series that they launched with the RS series, and it was called the Adventure Sport category, and that did not take off as planned. Bajaj maybe expected the adventure segment to take off at the time, but it did not happen. But on the flip side, look at today's scenario. The adventure category is off to a flyer. In 2019, we even saw the introduction of the Pulsar 125, and that targeted the commuter segment. So Bajaj wanted the piece of that pie as well. So from all of this, you do understand that the Pulsar portfolio is very diverse, and no matter what your budget is, there is a Pulsar for you. My next point is going to be the first impression is the last impression. What I mean by this is that for you to sell a motorcycle to an enthusiast, it is a little hard because he will do his research and go accordingly. But for most other people, or the majority of the people, first impression is the last impression, and the Pulsar was a beautiful looking motorcycle no matter where you looked at. Take a look at the NS, a really simple and likable design. The RS was a very beautiful motorcycle, and even the standard Pulsar 150 and 180 looked very good. Very sharp, they were much more different than your average commuter. They even had a tagline going that is called "Definitely Male," and their motorcycles looked the part as well. But there were obvious complaints that the design was not refreshed for a long time, and yes, that is true, but Bajaj definitely hit back in 2021 with the N250 and F250, which were beautiful and obviously eyeball catchy. Next point I want to talk about is Bajaj acquisition of KTM. KTM is owned partly by Purer Mobility and partly by Bajaj Auto. So Bajaj acquired KTM, and that has been going very fruitful for them. This made Bajaj an indirect stakeholder in PMAG, and thus they had a say in not just KTM but Husqvarna, Ramon and brands like GasGas as well. GasGas races in MotoGP, and yes, so does KTM, and you know about these top brands. You must be like, why am I talking about KTM and Bajaj partnership on a Pulsar video? But I wanted to stress on the market capture point. KTM is a more premium motorcycle than Bajaj, and the acquisition has helped Bajaj to target even the pricier segment. When you buy a KTM motorcycle, obviously the showroom is different. Everything from the bike to the experience is different. You pay a premium price for the motorcycle, and Bajaj, because of this acquisition, has been able to actually target the higher price segment very comfortably. The Duke series, the RC series and the Adventure series has gained such a lot of popularity in India. These bikes are not at all cheap, but strategic marketing has helped Bajaj sell a lot of these bikes as well. But again, how is it relevant in a Pulsar video? Well, it's not quite relevant, but I just wanted to elaborate on how Bajaj has captured the market in all segments. So yeah, sorry for wasting your time. But with everything that is good, there has to be negatives, and I'm afraid there are negatives with Bajaj as well. So let's take a look at the negative side as well. The biggest negative that plagues the Pulsar lineup is the quality issues. The quality you see on certain parts is not of the highest quality and definitely feels cheap. Bajaj has got the Pulsar to a certain low price point, but that definitely comes when you cut corners in quite a few areas, and that is a trade-off, and you're going to have to live with it. Also, finding neutral on certain old Pulsars was a much easier task than finding a loyal girlfriend in this day and age. Problems like a plasticky feeling motorcycle, certain parts rattling such as the fairing have been commonly reported problems of the Pulsar lineup. The fit and finish of the motorcycle is certainly inferior to the competition like Yamaha, Suzuki and even Honda. So you cannot expect to have a flagship experience in terms of parts, quality from Pulsar series or any other Bajaj motorcycle for that matter. But this problem of average part has even extended to KTM motorcycles. Certain things about the KTM motorcycles such as the rusty fuel filler cap, the low quality coolant pipe, a few rattling parts that have even made their way into KTM. These are just some of the areas in which the typical Bajaj build quality so-called is visible. So not just the Pulsar series but Bajaj as a whole has made a negative name in terms of quality. So that I feel is the biggest con with the Pulsar series. Also another problem is going to be the paint of the Pulsar motorcycle does go dull pretty soon, and signs of aging come relatively earlier as compared to other motorcycles. The quality of parts is something that has been a problem with Bajaj, and because yes, you have to bring your motorcycle down to a certain price point, these cost cuttings are actually expected. So that was it for the video, guys. These were the reasons as to why I feel the Bajaj Pulsar is an incredibly successful motorcycle in India. And also guys, I've told you the negatives of this as well. So I'm going to end the video over here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. Do you have anything to add to this? I would love to know what you think down below in the comment section. So guys, before I end the video, please, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button twice. Also guys, if you're new to my channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.